Welcome to our session today. Today we're looking at this specific chatbot. It's a lead generation bot, and we're not so concerned about the messaging in the bot, like these three entity controllers here. We're more so interested in looking at the flow and what's happening in this particular chatbot. So when a person runs this bot, you can see here in this action controller, the first thing that happens is we're going to tag the user with this tag of lead gen Q1. You can tag the user with whatever tag that you want to tag them with. We've just used that because lead gen is the name of the bot, and this is just prior to question number 1. So when they run the bot and they receive this question, they've already been tagged with lead gen Q1 as they're sitting here, reading this question. If the user chooses not to respond to this question, they will simply retain that tag of lead gen Q1. So the other thing that's happening here is there's a trigger that's been set up here. So what it says is if after 30 minutes, the contact has this tag of lead gen Q1, what we want to do, and we can take an action, we can send a message, we can send an email, or we can send a chatbot. So we're sending a chatbot, but instead of sending a chatbot, I've entered just the ID of a chatbot widget. And that ID is this ID right here of this this entity here, or this message here. So basically, they start up the bot, they get tagged with lead gen Q1. They're sitting here, they're reading this message, what's your name? They decide not to respond for whatever reason. After 30 minutes, the system is going to send them this message again. All right, so that's what's happening here. So let's just say they do continue, they enter their name. So the next thing that happens is the system is going to, as you can see here, it's got a negative in front of the lead gen Q1. And whenever you put a negative in front of a tag, the system will remove that tag from the person. So what we want to do is remove the lead gen Q1 and then a comma, and then we are tagging the person with lead gen Q2. So as the person is sitting here reading this second message that's coming to them, they will no longer have the Q1 tag, they will only have the Q2 tag. And likewise, here you can see that if they're sitting there reading this tag, asking for their email address, and for whatever reason they decide not to respond, or they got distracted, whatever it is, again, after 30 minutes, we are going to send them a chatbot if they've got the Q2 tag, and we want to send them not a bot, but we're actually just going to send them a specific ID, which is this one here. So 30 minutes later, it's going to push them this second question again. Hopefully, they'll respond to it the second time. And once they respond to this particular question, then the system, as you can see here, it goes and removes both lead gen. It removes, It removes the Q2 tag, and then we're just going to tag them with lead gen. So at the end of the day, if a person goes all the way through and they get to the very last prompt, they will simply and only have the tag of lead gen. And then on the admin side of the platform, then you can decide what you want to do with those users. So that's a great way of managing the stage at which a person has being moved through a chatbot, and then responding if they don't respond to any particular question, then you can take an action on that. And we've just set up this single action here, the single trigger here, in terms of after 30 minutes we want to push them. When we're talking about question number 1, after 30 minutes we want to push them again and send them that question again. And that's just a single setup. But if you wanted some additional setups, you could actually just go and do that manually in the trigger area. You can say, hey, you know what, if I see a user in the system and they've got the lead gen Q1 tag and an hour has passed by or a day has passed by, let's take an action on that. So if you wanted to do that, you could still send them this this first question again after any amount of time has elapsed, and you could set that up in the triggers area. So why don't I just kind of just show you what that looks like. So we're going to go into the triggers. We're going to add a new trigger over here, and I'll just put in lead gen triggers. All right, let's fix that there. Okay, so what we're saying is we're looking for anyone who's got lead gen Q1. We're going to add a new action. So within the setup of the chatbot, we've already got the 30-minute trigger. So let's just say it's been, I don't know, let's go for 3 hours, right? After 3 hours, you can choose to send a chatbot, but instead of choosing a bot, you want to send them to a specific ID, which is the ID of that first question. So you just grab that ID and put it here. And then you could add another action and decide, you know what, if after a day they still haven't responded to that very first question, again, the exact same thing. You want to send them a chatbot, and you would enter the ID of that specific widget. And I guess just for clarity, let's go back into the chatbot area. Let's open up that bot again. So that chatbot, that first question ID here is 4689. So I come over here and we would put in 4689 there and 4689 there. And again, you could continue this for as long as you'd like. After 2 days, after 5 days, they started it, but they still haven't done it after 5 days. Well, you could send that to them again, or you could send them a different chatbot, a completely different chatbot asking them completely different questions. Whatever you want to do, whatever your requirements are, this is going to allow you to do that. So that's how you can set up these flows and respond to users, push them information if they do not progress towards the end of the chatbot.